All right, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to open this meeting at 3:01 p.m. And call the meeting to order on July 25th of the Texas Space Commission Board of Directors. Before we begin, I request that all in attendance mute their mobile devices, any communication device, I guess, all those dings and dongs. So, Norma, would you please call the roll?
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Nancy Curry Gregg.
Here.
Sassy Doubleby. Chair Gwen Griffin.
Here.
Evan Loomis. Vice Chair Kathy Leaders.
Here.
Brad Morrison.
Here.
John Shannon.
Here.
Secretary Kirk Shireman.
Here.
Dr. Heather Wilson. Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Thank you all for joining today. Second week in a row. So thank you to the directors for being so willing to meet as quickly as we can to keep things moving. Appreciate all the activity that's been happening also just in that week period and what we've accomplished so far. Hiring subcommittee has helped to conduct the search for the chief compliance officer, and we'll be hearing from Brad, our committee chair, shortly. But first, I've got one item for the open meeting portion of the agenda. There's Evan. Okay. So based on our discussion last week and during the open meeting, obviously work is well underway on our strategic plan through that subcommittee. And for situational awareness for those of the members of the public that are listening in today, our board of directors is working very closely following legal guidance from our general counsel down here. Joseph, thank you so much, regarding Open Meetings Act protocol. So we're very diligent with that, as we should be. And so to that end, and some conversation of how can we move through our strategic plan process efficiently and effectively. I'd like to create 3 ad hoc work groups. So not additional subcommittees, but for the purpose of small group conversations, really, aligned with our strategic plan and for future ideas and activities, these ad hoc working groups could be effective for us. But in particular right now, with the speed in which we need to develop a comprehensive strategic plan for the commission, this is a way we can do this properly. And so in chatting with Norman about it a little bit, a natural approach could be to organize our working groups in accordance with how we were appointed to this board. When you break us up, there's 9 of us, so 3, 3, and 3. So 3 appointed, the 3 of us that were appointed by the governor, lieutenant governor, and speaker of the house. So it's really not an action item for us that we have to vote on, but I would like to open that up for discussion and see if you guys agree with that approach or have another idea.
I agree with the approach. It keeps it simple and keeps us on task for the strategic plan.
Yeah. Any other best practices or ideas?
You have to organize this out.
Yeah.
Picking one and moving is probably best if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a better approach than trying to change the laws associated with walking quorums. So,
Yeah.
Although we can have fun and send Joseph off to go do that. That would
There you
Come on.
Okay.
All right, then, with no further discussion, thank you. I think it'll be really helpful to us. So Norman, please coordinate, if you will, the 3 working groups so that we can move forward in helping each group coalesce together around the draft of the strategic plan.
Yes, ma'am, we'll do.
Okay, great. Now, that was our one action item for this meeting. I would like to now convene the board of directors into a closed executive session pursuant to section 551.074. One day I'll remember that number of the Open Meetings Act to conduct deliberations related to specific commission personnel. For members of the public here in the room and online, please note that the remaining agenda item, when we can reconvene in the open meeting, will be the possible action on employment of a chief compliance officer with an official vote if we are ready to do so, and then just officially adjourning the meeting. So pretty simple. All attendees are obviously welcome back at that time. So staff, thank you so much. We'll see you if you'd like to stay outside. Great. I think there's plenty of room. I don't think there's anything else going on there. And then Cody, would you put us into our closed session room? Thanks, folks. So we'll reconvene the open meeting of the Texas Space Commission Board of Directors under Section 551.102 of the Open Meetings Act. The Board of Directors is required to take any final actions, decisions, or votes on matters that were discussed in the executive session in the open meeting. As a result of our closed session, we are prepared to move forward in the hiring of the Chief Compliance Officer for the Texas Space Commission as detailed in the job posting. So I'd like to ask for a motion to extend an offer to Aaron Chancellor as the Chief Compliance Officer of the Texas Space Commission with the titles, functions, duties, responsibilities, and powers outlined in the job description. Thank you, Kathy. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Brett. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Staff Norman, please proceed with the process to hire, to work with HR
Yes, ma'am.
to hire Aaron Chancellor as the Chief Compliance Officer for the Commission as soon as possible.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right, members, let's take a look at our calendars and discuss any future meeting dates. I find that while we're all together, it's good to kind of just coalesce on calendars. We obviously don't have, we will work on an agenda if you have agenda items as we move toward our next open meeting. Please let Norman, Joseph, me know what those items might be. But let's look at what might work. Any suggestions on?
Which time range?
Yeah, like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I will say August is going to pass quickly. I know that our goal is to have a draft of our strategic plan in the September-ish timeframe. So
Is there a reason to meet before the strategic plan at least is in draft form?
with the ad hoc working groups getting together, probably that would be a good, after that occurs. I don't think we need to, we need a little time to let that process.
And if I may, the only other suggestion that I'll make is perhaps at least 2 weeks out, because we're in the process of also trying to help organize the first meeting of the TARSEC Executive Committee.
Yes.
That was one of the action items y'all gave to me last week at the board meeting. So I've made contact with most of them, and a couple of them are still scheduled to occur this afternoon, tomorrow, and Monday. But playing the calendar game for them to first meet and then select a liaison to attend y'all's next board meeting it might be in best interest for maybe mid to late August to allow them to first convene and make that decision so the person can join y'all.
Yeah, so.
The latter half of the last week in August, so the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that week would be, I'm going to be out of the country before then, but so for me, that would be the best. Or
Is that 28, 29, 30, around that time frame, Kirk?
yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm good those 3 days. So
okay, let's look.
It's best. Fridays are easier, but really any of those would probably work.
Those days work for me as well.
Wow, great. Let's see. Yeah. That works around business travel for me. How about you, Kathy?
Yeah, that will.
Okay.
We're aiming the 28th Wednesday. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think there's a preference for Friday. Is that right?
Friday, the 30th.
It is for me, but I'm just one vote, so I'll make anything else work.
Nancy, how about you?
Yeah,
Another?
it works for me. The 28th, 29th do not work for me, but the 27th and 30th do.
How long do we expect the meeting to be?
Don't know yet till we have if we're reviewing strategic plan, it could be a little bit.
Should we budget 3 to 4 hours then?
Probably a couple of, we're
Two.
pretty darn efficient, 2.5, 2.
Okay.
How's the 30th look for you, Evan, with that in mind?
What, wide open? I'm good.
Okay. All right. Time preference
Okay.
typically,
Yeah.
yeah. I know folks like to that are out of town, like myself, we like to come in that morning if possible and be able to depart that afternoon. So is there a time frame that works well, whether you're in person or virtual? 11, 10, 11. If you're flying in via Southwest, the company plane.
I like 10 o'clock. See, Dr. Wilson's not on this issue.
She's not.
No.
And she's pretty important.
Yeah. Yes,
We just
absolutely.
need to check.
Okay, so time to be TBD, but not too early so that folks can travel in if they choose to be here. Yeah.
Way better.
Okay,
What was that, sir?
Afternoon is better, but I can adjust.
okay. All right. Thank you for that. We will look at scheduling our next open meeting on whatever that was, just it went off my calendar.
August Friday.
Friday, the 30th. Okay, sounds good. Is there any other business to attend to today? Many of the directors. Okay, anything from staff, council? Okay, hearing none, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all for being here and look forward to seeing you. Actually, it'll be a month, so that's gonna be different. So the meeting is adjourned at 3:51 p.m. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
you.
Thank you all.